You're very popular on the internet, little girl. Why has you got sick on Daddy's Star Wars t-shirt? Oh, but she's so cute. She's so cute. There's a needle in her hand, by the way. We don't just randomly put socks on her handers. 4 AM, and this is basically what we do between the hours of 10 PM and 6 AM until the little madam goes to sleep. And we don't. It's Thursday and I'm a whale. Stay in my hair. It's currently 22 degrees outside, I think. And we are stuck in a Victorian building with a radiator which is on full blast because somebody decided to eat their own poo. That's the reason why we have to stay in the hospital, is because, what's it called? Meconium. So what she did was she took a poo inside Jacko's tummy and then inhaled it. So now she had poo on the lungs. So when she was born, she struggled to breathe. They gave her a bit of oxygen, it cleared it, and now she's on a week's worth of antibiotics, but she has to stay in to be monitored, which means Mummy has to stay in, which means Daddy has to stay in. How many hours sleep have you had?
We have quite a lot of time.
I'd say about 3.
In
In the last 100 hours, we've probably had about 12 hours sleep. But she's worth it though. So this is where my antibiotics have to go in, a needle in the hands. We put a sock on it so she doesn't pull it off. And she's got these little chubby rolls, look. I know, Daddy's so mean. This is pretty much what happens between the hours of 8 AM and 10 PM. Just had some tests on our oxygen levels and they're running pretty low. So they've had to go and tell the doctor. Then they retested and it was back to all okay. The cuisine here isn't the best, and obviously I won't get fed because obviously nothing to do with me. So we're on the pot noodles and baguettes. What did you have?
A yogurt.
A yogurt. Okay, I'm sorry for the way I look. Basically, it is now Saturday night at 10:30. My football team, Forest, are losing 2-1 to Cardiff. We've not long been back from the hospital. This is basically an update of what's happening. I know I mentioned in the video about our baby daughter being born that there was a couple of complications, and well, just one really, and I just want to go into it more. So she was born almost a week ago. This time last week, Jacko was in labour for a long time. Still in labour now. Tomorrow morning at 7:37 she'll be 1 week old. What happened was, like I mentioned before, is that our baby pooed inside Jacko. That's called Meconium. It's quite common, and then because of a C-section, obviously it's sitting back and she had to come out, and she inhaled a lot of the poo. Basically it got into her lungs, and she's been in the hospital ever since. She's not come home yet. Jacko's first night home was last night. She got discharged. I'm not going to go into it. We've had an up and down ride without that on top of it, with just the level of service from the hospital, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Priority is the baby and Jacko. Went up to, when she first born, they had to put like a mask on her face. Let me just turn this radio off before I get lost. So they put a mask on her face to, I think it was like a CPAP. I think what I have for my sleep apnea, and then that just basically pushes air clears her airways, and I went into it and it was just like the scariest thing you'll ever see in your life. And there was 5 hour gap where Jackie never saw baby V for I didn't see her face for 5 hours. I was allowed to go downstairs. Jackie was upstairs in recovery. When she finally arrived upstairs, everything was fine, but they have to monitor certain factors such as how many breaths she takes in a minute, the rate of oxygen around her body, which is through a laser which goes onto her foot or hand or wrist, but mainly her foot. Tonight when we left it was on her wrist. And that's percentage of oxygen flowing around the body, and it has to be above 95%. And the third one is temperature. So Tuesday, I think it was, she came downstairs because the numbers were low. Every 4 hours it's happened, by the way, sorry. Every 4 hours somebody would come to the room, no matter what time of the day it was. They came to the room and checked on the baby, and if it had 2 things out of the 3 wrong, then they go downstairs again into the intensive care unit. Cut a long story short, she's been in the intensive care unit now 2.5 days solid. I mean, she's been down there, this is her 3rd time down there, but it's actually solid because her oxygen levels are low and she needs tubes into her nose to help her breathe. It's horrible. It's horrible. Her pulse and her breathing, like actual rate and temperature is all fine. It's just that she needs this oxygen, and I'm not sure how it measured, but she's actually on, right when we left tonight, she was on 0.04, which is not even like 1, 0.04. So that's like a very low amount of oxygen, and it's horrible because she needs that to just to help her take along. It's a very steady flow of oxygen, like a breeze, not even that going into her. Sometimes, obviously, if a number's drop below 92, then sometimes it will drop below 92 6, 7, 8, 9 times an hour, but that's because the wiring's a bit dodgy, she's not settled and the connection is rubbish. If everything is like all connection and the feed's perfect, then unfortunately they have to turn the wire up. Last night, so I rang up this morning, unfortunately, like we come home and we haven't got a baby, so we wake up in the morning and we have to ring the hospital to make sure she's alright. And this morning they said she had an hour without any oxygen whatsoever. She breathed on her own, but then went back into it today. It is ridiculously hard to stay positive. She's in an intensive care unit where there are premature babies. My niece was premature, she was like 30 weeks and she was tiny. In this room where baby V was, there was a 400-gram baby in there. I mean, that whole unit, that whole floor at Leicester Royal Infirmary is brilliant. I cannot thank them enough. The doctors there are amazing, beyond amazing. They what they do, how they keep so positive, well, they have to. That's their job. We come home at night time with our baby, and it sucks. I haven't slept in a week. I can't sleep. It's horrible. We have to have limited amounts. We have to, it sounds if you sit by the baby the whole time, you feel helpless. You really feel helpless. There's a family room where you can go and eat and chill, and then there's like Morrison's and stuff down the road. And as soon as you walk out of the room, you want to go back in there. She's strong. She's stronger than both of us put together. So I'll probably sit beside her tomorrow and make this video. And then upload it when I get home. Cool.